Hi, and welcome back to another Stampin' on Friday video. Today we're going to be working on a card using the Paper Tray Ink Wonderful Whimsical stamp set. This is kind of an older stamp set, and we're going to be making a little kind of scene. So the first thing I want to do is I have a piece of scrap paper here, and what I did was I cut it down to the same size as my piece of white cardstock, which this measures 3.5 by 3.5, and this is Paper Tray Ink's Stampers Select cardstock. And I took a piece of scrap paper which measures just a little bit more than 3.5, and I tore off the top of this. So I'm just going to put some removable adhesive on the back, and I'm going to put this right on the front of my card here, my card base, or where I'm going to be stamping. And I'm going to take some tumbled glass distress ink, and I'm going to just kind of make a little clouded area up on the top here, so because I'm going to be doing a little kind of outdoor scene. So once I pull that away, all I'm going to have is just that little shaded area right up here, and then I'll go ahead and take my rest of my ink on my pad here and just go across the sides. So I'm not really going to do the bottom because I'm going to do something different down the bottom here. So let me get these out of the way, and then we're going to go ahead and start stamping. I'm going to be using my Copic markers today, so I'm going to need to use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And the first thing I'm going to be doing is starting at the bottom and working my way up. So this stamp set has a cute little house, and kind of you could build your own scene with this. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be making a little birthday card using this little house right here in the tree. So let me go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is kind of do this grass area down the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my ink and stamp that. And I'm going to do this twice. Just like that. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and clean the stamp off here and set that aside. And I'm going to go ahead and start doing some other stamping, kind of building up my scene here before I start doing any of my Copic coloring. So I have some of my stamps here stuck on my block, so I'm just going to go ahead and take those off and put my house on next. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up with the Copic, or the Memento ink. And that we're going to stamp right on the side here. Just like that. Clean the stamp off. And the next thing I'm going to do is use this little tree stamp right here. And I'm just going to put this right over on this side. And the other thing this includes, this set has, are some cute little images that you can add on. So there's this little kind of bird. So I'm going to stamp this bird right into my tree. I also have a little happy birthday. So I'm going to stamp that right inside my little sign here that's hanging on my house. And pardon me, I have to go up to camera and make sure I get this in the right spot. So there's the happy birthday. And then also has these adorable little flowers that I thought I'd put right down in front by the house here. So I'm going to stamp a little set of flowers on both sides, just like that. And I missed this one spot here. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and close up, or set this aside for a second, because I do also want to stamp a grass area. So I'm just going to use this green pattern paper that I got from this Echo Park 6x6 pad, and it's a Walk in the Park paper collection. So I'm just using that to do my grass area. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that out here using my same stamp that I used on the front of my card. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors and cut this out. So all I'm going to do is just cut it right along my stamped line right here. like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down on the front of my card. I'll do that last. I'm going to do my Copic coloring first. Now, I'm not the best Copic colorer, so I'm just going to do this in fast motion. You could see kind of sort of what I do. There are some great YouTube videos out there that if you do a search on Copic coloring, you'll find some great videos on what to do. So I'm going to start off by coloring my house, and I'm going to use E30 and E31. So I'm just going to go ahead and color that in. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be doing is the roof here, and I'm going to use C3 and C5 to do my roof. Okay, for my heart here in the middle, I'm going to use C20 or R27 and R29. And then for my happy birthday sign, I'm going to use a combination of BG10, BG11, and BG13. And now what I'm going to do is take my BG11 and my BG13, and I'm going to take the fine tip to this one and just kind of use some of the darker color to create a little highlighting on my sign. For my tree, I'm going to be using E37, and then for the leaves, I'm going to use YG63 and YG67. And then finally, oh, I missed a little leaf here, so let me just fill that one in. And then finally, for what I'm going to do is this little bird, and I'm going to use the Y21 and Y23. Okay, so that is my colored image. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and start assembling my card. So the first thing I'm going to do is start putting my little grass layer here on. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my adhesive right down to the bottom here. And then I'll add it to the top sections of the back of this. So I'm just going to go ahead and line that up. And then I'll use my scissors to trim it down. Okay, so that is my colored in picture that we're going to be, or image that we're going to be using. And now for the base of my card, I'm using a, going to do a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch card. So I already went ahead and cut my cardstock, and this measures 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and I scored it at 4 1/4. And then the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and adhere, also from the Echo Park paper, this piece of green pattern paper to my card. First thing I want to do though is add some ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this down first. So I'm just going to do this, add this right to the back of my card, and then I'll just make sure it's in the center, which it's not. So that's adhered to the back. I'll trim this off, and then I'll go ahead and use adhere this down to the base of my card. So what I'm going to do with this is, instead of centering it in the center of my card, I'm going to go ahead and actually add this right to the bottom so it lines up even with the bottom. Normally I would just go ahead and put it in the center, but I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to add a bow to the top of this, so I'm just going to take my same trim that I used and make a bow, and I'm going to tie that right up towards the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on the back of this and stick that right down. So I'm also going to go ahead and layer this right at the bottom as well, lining it up with the bottom. I gotta pull my ribbon out there. And there we go. That's my card for today. I'm also going to stamp a little sentiment on the inside. I just don't have that out right now. So that's it. Nice and simple card for another Stampin' on Friday episode. Thanks for watching another episode of Creations with Christine. I'll see you next time. Bye.